Welcome back to the Jewelry Marketing Guy, owning bridal in your town. Yes, I have the same shirt on as I did last time. That's because I'm shooting this segment 2 minutes after I shot the last segment. Maybe for the next one I'll have a different shirt on. We'll see. Anyhow, we are talking about owning diamonds psychologically, or bridal in your town, okay? We are going to think right now about a major concept, and that is, what is your psychological real estate? How much psychological real estate do you own in your market? Okay? Obviously, if you're in a big market, if you're in Minneapolis, you're going to be competing with the RF Mollers and Shane Company and the Jareds, and the big guys that are out there. Okay? You probably don't have a lot of psychological real estate. And what I mean by that is, how much of people's brains do you own? Okay, when they think of the word jewelry, who do they think of? Where do you fall in that list? Okay, so the great thing about it is, we're going to try. I'm going to teach you how to buy a market or an audience. Okay, your goal is not going to be, if you have a jewelry store in Chicago, your goal is not going to be to acquire the entire Chicago metro area and get them in your store. It ain't going to happen, okay? We're going to look at a market within a market within a market, and we're going to say, how can I own 2,000 people? Or how can I own 5,000 people, okay? So I want you to think right now about the psychological real estate that you own in your market. Great way to do this. I love doing this. I love going to a restaurant, and if I get a waitress, see I'm at an Applebee's or something, tend to get younger waitresses, and I say, listen, Lisa, I'm thinking about getting an anniversary ring for my wife, because I've got a wedding band on, and where should I go to buy an anniversary ring in this town? Okay, and then shut up and listen. Listen to what she says. She's going to tell you a very interesting story, okay? Do it with the next person. Do it with the next person. Do it with the next person. I love doing this because this tells you what the people in your town are thinking of in terms of where they get their jewelry, okay? Another thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to ask your staff, okay, especially if you have younger staff. And I'm saying this from a 45-year-old man's perspective. Typically, we will have, 20-something and 30-something-year-old staff, okay? Say, okay, guys, let's talk real. Where are we losing diamond sales? Where are your friends buying engagement rings? Or where do the people, before you started working here, where did they buy their engagement rings, okay? Listen to that. And then I want you to make a note of where you fall on the ladder of psychological real estate, okay? And this is just market analysis that you can do with your staff. Now, I will admit, you're going to have to try to be as objective as you can. You're going to have to take off your jeweler hat, put on your marketing guy hat, or your market analysis hat, or your regular guy on the street hat, and try to take and make an objective decision and look for real where you fall, okay? Just because you threw an ad in the newspaper 3 weeks ago about Elma Gill, that doesn't mean you own any psychological real estate in your town. Now it may, but I'm saying if you're in a bigger market, you probably don't own a lot. So for the key for this segment is determine where you stand on the ladder. And let's determine, we've already got our goal, how many rings are we going to sell a week, okay? So you should have that down from last week. If you don't, yeah, that's your number one goal, is determine how many diamond rings you're going to sell in a week, or a day, or a month. You determine what it is, and whatever it is. And secondly, let's look at where you fall on the psychological real estate ladder in your town. And that'll determine what kind of chunk we got to bite off. And I'll tell you what, you can do it. Just don't think that you're going to, conquer the entire world, okay? We're going to do it one piece at a time. And so next time we're going to talk about your store. We're going to talk about looking at your store from the outside in and ask the question, do I look like a bridal store? So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you back again soon.